Hello everyone, and thanks for joining me on 120 InfoSeconds. My name is Jason Nicola, and this is a video series that I'm doing to teach InfoSec skills in a short, bite-sized format that you can actually absorb and work very quickly back in your working skill sets. Oftentimes it'll just be me teaching things that I've learned along the way, but there will be other special guests as well, so keep an eye out for them. And with all of that said, here is the first video on pivoting with SSH local port forwarding. Enjoy. So in this scenario, I have access to a machine named Ted as user Ted over the public internet at IP 52147.200.136. And I just so happen to have Ted's password, and there I can SSH in and run commands and interact with other things in the environment, just like I would with a normal SSH session. But let's say I wanted to attack and interact with other machines behind the firewall in Ted's local network and do that with my attack tools from my local attacking machine. I can't do that with just straight vanilla SSH, but there is an SSH option built in called local port forwarding. So if I add the -L option here, the first thing I need to specify is a port on my local machine that I want to listen on, which is kind of like a side door entryway into this SSH session for other traffic. So I'll use port 8080 here. The next thing you need to supply is the IP address that you want your traffic to end up at when all is said and done. And I just happen to know that there is a web server running at 10.0.19.9, and that web server is running on port 80, which is the last component here that you have to supply, the port that you want traffic to end up at. So when I run this, I'll have that side door entryway into the SSH tunnel at port 8080 on my local machine. That will be routed to Ted, and Ted knows that anything I send it in that way, I want to end up at 10.0.19.9 on port 80, so it'll take care of that routing for me. Here I'll hit enter, and then I will supply Ted's password again. Here we can see my SSH session was successful, and I'll pull open Firefox, and again, I'm going to interact with my local machine on port 8080 because that's where I specified the local port forward. And here we can see that I'm routed to the web server at 10.0.19.9 on the other side of the firewall in Ted's environment via the SSH local port forward. Whoa.